we've spoken about this a little bit before because there was toy packaging that had the white suits that we saw those for the first time, and that mentioned that Avengers 4, Avengers Annihilation, whatever you want to call it at this point, is going to have a new villain, and a new villain is in the way of Thanos, and Thanos keeping everything the way he wants it. There is a hardcover novel. It's like a little, what are the teen novels? A young adult novel.
They call it graphic novels or young novel or young adult novels. It's really weird in bookstores because sometimes they'll list them as graphic novels, other times they'll list them as young adult novels.
I'm just gonna stick with the old YA, young adult novel. Avengers Infinity War Cosmic Quest, the second volume of that has come out, and someone on Twitter on the back of it has taken a picture of the little blurb or synopsis for it. It confirms that two people survived the snap, and that's Selvig and Darcy. I don't know why Darcy survived. Like, of all the people that could have gone, Darcy could have gone. So rest in pieces, Jane. But it also backs up that there is a new foe who threatens to destroy everything. It also mentions that there's a link or a possible link between the Infinity Stones and like humanity's past, which I think is the more interesting part. The new foe is kind of like we've kind of known that for a little bit. Is more confirmed now. You could make the argument that this isn't canon because Marvel haven't said it's canon, but on the flip side of that, the writer for this has.
I mean,
it's just Marvel hasn't confirmed it one way or another. So.
It's just a matter of Marvel saying, "Oh, it's canon," or or no, it's just it's just an adaptation of what could have happened. During the two movies.
Because this is all set based, obviously after the snap, because it goes on about Selvig and Darcy looking for answers for this Infinity Stones, and like people have read it, and it deals with life afterwards, and it doesn't really confirm if Tony makes it back to Earth or he's still on Titan or whatever.
So like in the book is from what the back of the book is like. So they're searching for some of the stones because from what I'm seeing right here, they have the space reality and the soul stones.
I'm not sure if the space reality. I think that's just a bit in the back of the book. Like the first, you might have the other three. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I wouldn't take those stones as anything.
I was just asking if it works, because like sometimes they usually put those things if they're in the book. Not all the time, because I know be it front covers or back covers, they can lie.
Yeah, but the main bit I wanted to bring up and talk about was a possible link between the stones and like humanity's past, because we know they're doing an Eternals movie. Like, they haven't come out and said it officially, but we know it's got a director, it's got a script. We know they're casting people right now for it, despite it starting in September, which is really weird. So we might see some of them before. I wouldn't bank on it, but it's a possibility because they're casting for a movie in September, and that's way too early. But I am under the assumption that if this is going to be in the movie and this is how the synopsis goes, then it's got to be an Eternal.
Yeah.
And they have to link the Eternals to the Infinity Stones. I mean, sure they are with Thanos anyway, but even more so. Like, that's my idea anyway.
Yeah, that could be, because it's a lot easier to tie everything into it. Because to me, it's just really weird, because I did some homework to look on, all the higher echelon of the MCU, because some people go into, I don't know why they do this, but they do the power scaling for whatever reason. Yeah, so
I don't understand people who like power scaling. It's like, it's what it is. Just let
because even for the MCU, there's the higher tiers and all that, and I was just wondering who could be the antagonist that would realistically make Thanos shaking his boots, or
right. Have you got any ideas for that? Did you actually
some of the characters? I can't even say their names, so like
I assume you're looking at all like the cosmic
yeah,
concepts, like eternity,
yeah, that like
entropy,
Eternity and all,
infinity.
yeah, all of them.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's what I would have gone for, because fair, it makes sense,
Yeah,
and then it happened in Infinity Gauntlet. Living Tribunal came down and was
yeah.
like, you know what, Thanos is stronger than Eternity. You're the new Eternity now. Goodbye. Um, Fun fact, it's exactly how it happened. Word for word.
Yeah, yeah, well, I wouldn't put it past it because some comics do that. They don't give you any
Yeah.
explanation. Just you have the power now. Go deal with
So,
the problem.
he's stronger than you, therefore you can go. You're in. That's basically how Living Tribunal works.
Yeah.
Fun fact. But yeah. 'Cause I'm not 100% convinced now that it is one of them. I'm very much on this. It's got to be Eternals related.
Okay.
There has been a lot of rumors about Kronos, who was one of the old Eternal Kings. He ended up like transcending, essentially, and becoming like the master of space, time and space. A bit like Kang, I suppose.
Yeah, because at one point, I was like, maybe King. I mean,
I think Kang. There's an interesting thing with Catherine Langford's character. I think she might be an Iron Lad-esque sort of character, because apparently she's Tony Stark's daughter. That's the hot rumor. So she's a time traveling Iron Man.
Yeah, and then like I think there's like one weird out there theory that like how they could tie the Fantastic Four in it, and then I was like, wait, what? Because
there's a ton of Fantastic.
No, like, I mean, like it was based on the Ultimate version where you find out one of the Kings is Ultimate Sue.
Oh yeah, the Cataclysm one. Yeah. That I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Do that, Kang Marvel. No. In fact, just do Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because I was like, to me, I was like, what? Because originally, before they made the Maker evil again, he was good, and I was like, so you made Sue evil and Reed good again, or somewhat good.
Yeah, they juggled those two back and forth. Yeah. It was crazy. I didn't like. Yeah, yes, not Kang. Like, Sue shouldn't really be the villain, but she wasn't really a villain in that bit, but she kind of was to everyone else. But because didn't she make Quicksilver kill?
Yeah. Like she did some really messed up things, but but to her it was in good cause.
Yeah, because wasn't it Quicksilver got the stone out of Tony's brain?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't read the Ultimate Universe, that means nothing to you, and you have no idea what we're talking about. But
yeah, it was really weird towards the end.
Can you imagine if they did that's how the Infinity Stones worked?
Yeah. Like
you can have a million of them. You just have to have certain traumatic events happen.
Yeah, just for people like on YouTube and in the chat right now, in the Ultimates version, they have their own version of the Infinity Gauntlet, but the Hulk, he had two of them, one in each hand.
And it's all because you could make an infinite amount of Infinity Stones. You just needed a horrific event to happen, and they could appear anywhere. Like Tony's brain tumor turned out to be the Mind Stone. It was what it was.
That was hilarious. I'll admit that his talking tumor was a stone.
Yeah, and the fact that it talked is like, why? I didn't mind it. It was weird. It was the Ultimate Universe. It was what it was. But back to the whole like possible new foe thing. If it's not Kronos, which I think Kronos has probably got the highest chance of being likely because it ties into Eternals. He controls time. He can he could probably take on Thanos. Maybe not, but he could probably do it. If not, I just at a pure random pull would say Nemesis from that Ultraverse crossover.
Okay.
You can possibly make her an Eternal. Maybe not Eternal. She could be something else, but like. In that Ultraverse crossover, like she was the original being that made the Infinity Stones, and she had like the Ego Stones, and maybe bring in the Ego Stone just to one up everything. But that's just pure.
That's the one weird thing because I think weren't they one and the same at one point or interchangeable from one point? Because I know when they were going about for the Infinity Stones because they changed names quite a lot.
Oh yeah, there were like soul gems and then like something else.
Because like originally it was only one because
Yeah, originally you only had the soul gem, and it
Yeah,
was green, and then you found out there were 6 more soul gems that
and they
were
were all
also
green,
green,
and then they
and then
changed again.
in that same arc, they then changed colors to what we know now.
Yeah,
Well, not what we know now, but what we knew before, and then they started changing colors, and now they're Infinity Stones, and yeah,
yeah,
it's,
because they were originally like that. They were gems, and then for some reason they changed them to stones. And, yeah,
which I mean, to be fair, a gem is just a cut stone,
yeah.
so.
You know what? Like you get that image of like of Thanos just cutting them into a certain shape.
I've got
Everything must
now.
be perfect,
Yeah.
equal balance.
But only 3 of them are smooth and cut. The other 3 aren't, because it's got to be 50-50. But yeah, it's pure speculation on who this could be at this point. It's
Yeah, because like even with some of this news right here, they're still going with Annihilus because Avengers Annihilation.
yeah, that's if there is a title and they haven't changed it again, because apparently this is the 3rd title they've had.
Wow.
'Cause, which, to be fair, if you look at everything, it makes sense. Why would Zoe Saldana drop Infinity Gauntlet? Like it would have made sense to record the movie Infinity Gauntlet. There was, I think it's the cinematographer for the movies on his resume. It was someone who worked in it. On his resume, he had Avengers Endgame. Why would he have Endgame on his resume if it wasn't called Endgame? He quickly took that down. And now it's come out. Apparently, a lot of people, with the sources and the ketchup and the mayonnaise, is all saying it's Annihilation. But maybe they've changed it again. We don't know. We'll hopefully find out very soon. Hopefully, it's not next year. I doubt they would wait that long. But yeah, again, can't really say who it is. There's only spitball ideas, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'd personally put money on it being Eternals related, i.e. Kronos. To be honest, that name's come up so many times in leaks and rumors, and usually when things keep cropping up, it tends to be true.
Yeah.
So
The one thing I do want to know is like, there's a Science Avengers now. Because because that's what the writer said. This is who are the Science Avengers? And I'm like,
wow,
there's Science Avengers now.
That's a new one for me. We have some. We have biology Avengers. We have English Avengers. We have geography Avengers.
Yeah, because I know it's probably like mostly. I think.
So it's probably like Tony, Banner, Shuri.
Yeah.
All that. Maybe not Shuri. She might not be an Avenger. She might be too busy leading Wakanda next to M'Baku, whoever's gonna.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. Unless you've got something else
No,
to speculate and throw out there. No.
No, I just hope. Well, to me, hopefully the book's good. Just it's good because I may want to pick that up. Because if it is good, because I usually do like reading, graphic novels, or in this case, young.
So,
adult
fun
novel.
fact: there is no pictures. It's just pure.
Yeah, I know that.
And I'm just making sure for you and for everyone else.
No, it's like I know
can't
that.
read without the pictures like myself.